Welcome to another edition of the Entertainment Corner. I'm Paul Ortiz, and we're at the beautiful Segerstrom Concert Hall. And joining me now is the president of the Segerstrom Center for the Arts, Terry Dwyer. Thanks for joining us on the Entertainment Corner.
It's a pleasure.
What a beautiful concert hall you have
Yeah,
here.
we're so lucky. I think the community is so lucky. We opened this hall in 2006, and it's really state-of-the-art. The acoustics are fantastic. It's really a great place to see a concert.
It's a beautiful place to see a concert. About how many seats are here?
About 2,000.
Great. Well, it's a beautiful concert hall. You obviously did a wonderful job in this production of it. But we're here to talk about, unbelievably, the 2013 and 2014 Broadway Series.
Here we go again.
It's amazing. You've been here now for, what, 6 or 7 years?
Yeah, it's been a good long run.
Have you seen audiences change in Orange County, and especially in your venues in that time period?
Well, they haven't changed that much, but luckily for us, they've continued to be strong and sometimes have grown. We've had very loyal and enthusiastic audiences, particularly for that Broadway series.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about one of the first ones. You have Evita coming here in December, of the first week of December.
Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. It's got a lot of great hits, and it's a new production directed by Michael Grandage, very famous director. It should be a great time out.
And this, I believe, the second time here at the center, and very popular the first time around, so it's always nice to see the shows come back to, you know, sometimes a majority of the audience has seen it, but it's wonderful that for the new viewer or the new person seeing this production will see this wonderful production as well.
Sure, it's a great way to introduce people to musical theater, those great classic hits.
All right, and then the next one is going to be something a little bit different. This is Andrew Lloyd Webber, and it's The Wizard of Oz. I guess he's put in some new music.
Yeah, we're very excited to have that here. I don't think this production is new, so it's a premiere at the center. And everybody knows the story, but I think the new songs and obviously seeing that great story on stage instead of in film, I think it's really for families, it's for everybody.
I was just going to ask you that, you know, do you think, you know, because it obviously is The Wizard of Oz, you know, it's on stage, but that's still a great time to bring the family and the grandkids.
Completely family friendly. Right. No one should miss it.
Okay, and then the next one is one of your favorite. Oh, actually, the next one is a very interesting one. This is the Book of Mormon, very popular in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's really about the hottest ticket in New York. It's a wonderful show. It was created by the people that created South Park, so that gives you a little sense of the irreverent humor. It's pretty out there sometimes, but the music is great. It's hilarious. It's told with the story's told with a big heart, and everybody leaves happy.
When you get together, I imagine you have some people with you. When you talk about the productions that will be coming to the center, how does that process work? And at what point do you say, okay, we're going to, you know, book the Book of Mormon? Is that hard? Is that a tough job?
Well, that's a fun part of the job. Luckily, we get to pick from some of the best shows coming out of New York City. So the fact that we have a show that's such a big hit in New York is a good sign for our center and happily for Orange County. We do talk about all the shows that are available, and it's pretty easy to focus on the biggest hits, the most popular shows, and the ones that we think were produced at the highest level of quality. And Book of Mormon is certainly at the top of all of those lists.
Is it important, too, for Orange County to have the shows before they get to L.A. County? Or does it really matter?
It doesn't really matter. I think that Orange County knows that all of the best shows will eventually come to our Segerstrom Center for the Arts. And so they don't really go up to Los Angeles that much.
Right.
Los Angeles may worry a little bit, as they should, because Orange County comes first.
That's right. Okay. Well, coming in June is going to be Jersey Boys. It's the story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I believe it's one of your favorite shows.
It is one of my favorite shows. It's been here a number of times. It's one of those great musicals that has so many songs that are great hits and familiar, and I call them memory songs. You kind of remember where you were when you first heard those songs.
Absolutely.
And it's a wonderful story, and it's true.
Right.
Good time will be had by all.
Yeah, very sure. Now, Ghost, that was a very popular movie, starring Patrick Swayze, I believe, and Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg.
That's right.
All-star cast. That was some years ago too, but now that's coming to the stage.
Yeah, that I actually have not seen yet, but it's a beautiful story. There's some drama in it, and it's very romantic and sweet, and it's a beautiful story with some great hit songs in it.
And that already has a fan base, too, because everybody loved that movie when it came out. They loved the soundtrack that came with it. So I think people coming to the center to watch it on stage, you know, like you said, they'll have that reminiscence about that show, and they'll really enjoy it.
It gives us a little head start.
That's right.
Just like Wizard of Oz, little head start.
Now, once, I never heard of this show. but I understand it's one of the newer shows that are now hitting the stage. What is this show really about?
Well, I of course love all the shows equally, but I might love Once a little bit more than anything else we're producing. This is a story set in an Irish bar. It's about a bunch of young singers and musicians. It focuses on a relationship between one young man and one young woman, and the man is contemplating giving up his dream of becoming a great performer in New York City. The music is so great. It is heartwarming. It's not like hard rock music. It's these beautiful ballads and folk rock, and the characters are so heartwarming and so lovely. You will fall in love. Wow. And I'll give you a hint. Anyone coming to see Once should show up within a half hour before the show starts, because something very special happens in the house before the show starts.
No kidding. Now, where did you see this show that attracted you to
I saw it in New York City, and I too didn't know that much about it, and I luckily showed up a half hour before the show started. and the audience is made very, very welcome by the performers during that period.
Great. So I'm looking forward to, seeing how
that does.
It's a
great show.
Great.
Really great.
And coming just this October, you have Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, that's coming. That's won some Tony Awards for their costume design
That's
as well.
right. That might be the other end of the spectrum from Once. That's also a story that's very, very funny and told with a big heart. A bunch of characters take a bus trip across the country for a variety of reasons, and I think people will have a lot of fun with that.
And Disney Beauty and the Beast, this is part of your bonus option. You have actually two bonus options if people were wanting to be a part of the Broadway and Curtain Call series. Disney's Beauty and the Beast, very popular for another family-oriented production.
That's a can't miss hit. Everybody knows the story. Most people have seen the movie. Generations have been raised on that story. And this is a great stage production.
Absolutely.
This is a guaranteed good time.
And followed by Chicago, a very popular musical again.
Another good contrast with Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
Chicago is a great classic American musical. A wonderful story set in sort of gangster Chicago. People will have a good time.
And then followed by I Love Lucy. We all loved that show back in the 60s and 70s, and you're bringing it to the stage. I believe it's the time period of about early 1950s in Desilu Productions, and we kind of get to see it behind the scenes of this production, right?
It's again a familiar story, familiar cast of characters, and I've not seen it on stage yet, so I can't wait.
Oh, that'll be terrific, because we all love those characters. And
great characters.
The Mertz that live next door,
Fred and Ethel.
Fred and Ethel Mertz, we love them as well. And then you're going to wrap up the whole season with another bonus option with the very popular show Mamma Mia. This is all the popular songs of ABBA.
Right. Well, that's many people are familiar with that, but there's probably no musical we're doing that doesn't have as many, that has more songs in it.
Absolutely.
It's a sort of a rollicking good time, wonderful characters, little irreverent here and there, but I think people really seem to enjoy it. A lot of times they even stand up and want to dance.
Absolutely, and that's another show that when you leave, you have that kind of warm feeling. You just had a really good time. It was just part of this whole production.
People leave, smile on their face, songs in their hearts.
Yeah. Well, when you're putting the balance of this schedule together, are you trying to okay, we're going to not have this, because a lot of shows may be somewhat similar, but do you try and balance them and rotate them? Like you said, it's going from one spectrum to the next.
Right. We try to do a couple things. We want to bring a broad spectrum of the best in American musical theater to our audiences. We also want to have some great traditional classical, musical experiences like Evita or Chicago, and then to go to the other end of the spectrum, like maybe Book of Mormon,
the Book of Mormon,
or even Once is quite different than what people will expect. And I think we take people for a really interesting ride, and we think a really entertaining ride throughout the course of the season.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like a great time to come out, bring your family, bring your loved ones, and see the show. A beautiful concert hall, and of course, the hall across the street as well in the center is beautiful as well. And we want to encourage people to go to scfta.org. And you can pick up all of your Broadway and all your ticket information just by visiting the website or giving them a call on their phone number as well.
That's right. We look forward to welcoming your audiences.
Well, we look forward to seeing these shows coming up in 2013 and 2014. Thanks so much for joining us on the Entertainment Corner.
My pleasure.
I'm Paul Ortiz, and we'll see you again next time.